In a world that seems to spin faster with every passing day, I used to believe that success was measured by accumulation. More possessions, more achievements, more constant motion. I chased endless goals, filled my days with plans, and surrounded myself with noise, thinking that busyness was a sign of purpose. But as I kept running, somewhere along that relentless path, I began to feel a quiet emptiness growing inside. The more I gained, the more distant I became from who I truly was. Eventually, I realized that in striving to have everything, I had slowly lost myself.
I used to fill my life with things. Clothes I never wore, books I never read, and endless plans that never truly mattered to me. My shelves were full, my calendar was packed, yet every night a quiet emptiness echoed inside. I thought having more would make me feel complete. More possessions, more achievements, more recognition. But the truth was, the more I tried to fill my life, the emptier it became. My home looked perfect from the outside, yet my heart was quietly falling apart. I was constantly chasing, running after the next thing, the next goal, the next distraction. Everything except peace. One day, I stopped and looked around, realizing that all those things I thought I needed had become the very noise drowning out my soul. So I started letting go, one item, one plan, one false expectation at a time. And with each release, the silence began to feel beautiful. For the first time in years, I could breathe. It wasn't more than I needed, it was less. Less clutter, less chaos, less pretending. Because in the space I created, I finally found what I'd been missing all along: peace, clarity, and myself. One morning, I woke up and realized I was tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep could fix, but the kind that sits quietly in your chest, heavy and invisible. My room was full, my mind even fuller. Clothes I never wore, books I never opened, plans I never started. They were all just noise. So I began to let go. One drawer, one shelf, one thought at a time. Each item I touched seemed to whisper a memory, a version of me I no longer was. And as I placed things aside, something strange happened. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt peaceful. I realized letting go wasn't about throwing things away. It was about creating space for light, for breath, for clarity. Every cleared corner reflected a piece of calm I hadn't felt in years. And in that stillness, I found something I didn't know I'd lost: myself. So, if you have been holding on too tightly, maybe it's time not to lose, but to make room for what truly matters. When I started living with less, I didn't expect to find more, but I did. More clarity, more time, more stillness. The noise of wanting slowly faded, and in its place came a quiet rhythm, the sound of a life finally breathing. I remember the first morning after decluttering that home. Sunlight spilled across the empty wooden floor, and for the first time, I noticed how soft silence could be. Every object left behind had a reason, a story, a sense of peace. My home no longer spoke of chaos. It mirrored my mind, open, quiet, and free. Simplicity became my greatest teacher. It showed me that happiness isn't hidden in what we buy, but in how gently we live. It's in the slow pour of morning tea, the whisper of wind through an open window, the space between one thought and the next. In letting go, I didn't lose anything. I discovered everything: gratitude, presence, and the quiet joy of simply being.
Now my mornings are quiet. The world outside wakes slowly, sunlight brushing across the walls, the soft rustle of pages turning, the smell of coffee drifting through the air. There's no rush anymore, no endless list of things to do or buy. Just presence, just peace. I spend time with what I love, not what I own. A book that feels like an old friend, a plant growing quietly by the window, the steady rhythm of my own breathing. Each small moment feels fuller now, as if the universe whispers through the simplest things. I've learned to live slowly, intentionally, beautifully, to give meaning to the ordinary, the morning light, the gentle sounds, the spaces in between. Life no longer feels like a race to catch up. It feels like a dance with time itself. This to me is freedom, not the absence of limits, but the presence of calm. A life that no longer needs to prove anything. A life that simply is.
This message finds you. Maybe it's whispering something your heart has been trying to say all along. Slow down. You've been chasing, collecting, striving for more. But maybe more was never the answer. Maybe what you truly need is enough. Enough peace, enough quiet, enough presence to feel life again. This is Simple Earth Studio, a gentle corner of the world where you can pause, breathe deeply, and remember what truly matters. Here, simplicity isn't about having less. It's about feeling more clarity, more calm, more life in every slow, quiet moment.